listening to ABC Illawarra. It's 11 minutes away from 8 o'clock. There's no more room at the inn. That's what Illawarra Sports Stadium's saying. They've got a huge number of people playing seniors basketball there. Lots of people head to Berkeley every weekend. Netballers galore, lots of basketballers too. Well, they have a plan. They just need the money for it. We'll talk to Andy King from UBL Wollongong in just a moment about the number of seniors playing. When I say seniors, I just mean adults playing basketball in just a moment. But Graeme Haney's the chair of the Illawarra Sports Stadium and is here to tell us about this plan they've put together. They just need the money. Graeme, good morning.
Good morning, Melinda. How are you today?
Yeah, well, thanks. Tell me, what Illawarra Sports Stadium, I know that huge for netball, huge for basketball, but really, it's kind of outgrown itself, has it?
Yes, it has. It's been 30 years since the stadium first opened, and we've been looking after, as you said, netball and basketball in particular, but we also have up to 52 groups a year that come in that aren't netball and basketball as well. There's all sorts of sports that are played there, and there's all sorts of shows and spectacular events, book fairs, all that sort of thing as well, that looks after all the residents in the community, and as well as basketball and netball.
So you have been working on this for years. As you said, it's 30 years since anything sort of significance kind of happened. What are the plans you put together? And just tell us about the years-long process of getting this DA together.
Yes, it's been going for 2.5 years, although the planning's been going for much longer. But it is in place. We have a DA approved for a 3-court extension. And what that will do for us is provide avenues for a lot more people, a lot more members of the community to get access to the stadium, whereas at the moment we're turning away virtually 4 out of every 5 inquiries to hire are being turned away.
Turning away 4 out of 5 inquiries? What, is this for people to use basketball courts there?
Exactly. There's an enormous demand. As you know, it's been getting more and more rain, and people are being driven indoors, and they're looking for indoor programs that they can use to with their health and exercise, and we just simply don't have the capacity to take many more at all.
Okay, so you have put together a plan for 3 more indoor basketball courts. They're not cheap either, are they? I mean, what are you looking at? What kind of funds do you need to make this vision a reality?
What we're looking at is a $29.5 million project. It certainly sounds very expensive. It's much more than just 3 more courts. The courts that we're looking to put in place will also be able to adapt to a show court, which can hold 2,100 spectators. That will enable us to be able to look after a whole different range of people that simply can't put their shows and exhibitions and things on that they in the Illawarra at an economic rate that they can't do if they have to go elsewhere.
Now, it sort of makes sense, doesn't it? They're not too far from the biggest growth area in Wollongong. I mean, the number of people who'll be taking up residence in West Dapto and Wongawilli and all around there is going to be quite extraordinary. Surely the business case is there, you'd argue, wouldn't you, Graeme?
Oh, the business case is very cut and dried. It's a 1.35 business benefit to cost ratio, which is very, very attractive in building terms. There's 25,000 people still to move into the West Dapto area. Since this stadium was built, which is the last stadium of this sort built in the Illawarra, that's 30 years ago, there's over 60,000 people have moved into the area. So in the next couple of years, we'll have 85,000 more people in the area, and we don't have any more courts to look after them. It's a pretty simple equation. We need more courts.
So, what kind of response have you had so far from the people with the money?
Well, the interesting thing is that the state government, to provide funds for this type of venture, need to have unilateral support, and we're very pleased to say that we have that. We've spoken with the neighbourhood people and worked with them to satisfy their claims and demands and concerns. We've spoken with all the relevant sporting associations from the state level and from the local level. They're all in support. We have all the members of Parliament support, both federal and state. And we've actually got a situation where there doesn't appear to be anybody against it. It's just that we need the money to make it happen.
We'll put in some inquiries too and see where things might be at. So you've got the plan. You're ready to go. You just need the money. Is that your view, Graeme?
And that's exactly right. Since we've got the development approval, basically we can be up, running and fully expended in 2 years. We can have the place full, and we'll be looking for more space even then, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. But yes, we're at capacity now, and we can get an extra 3 courts up and working to capacity in a very short time frame.
Well, good luck with it, and thanks for talking to us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
That's Graeme Haney, Chair of the Illawarra Sports Stadium. Andy King runs the UBL Wollongong competition. It's the University Basketball League. Andy King, 107 teams, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a heck of a lot. That's I mean, if you're talking about individuals, that's well over 700 people, you'd have to say, playing in weekly tournaments there at Berkeley.
Yeah, we have a few that double up. They love the game so much they'll play a few times a week. But yeah, we've been building that over the last 14 years, and it's just organically grown, and we've just outgrown the stadium over there at Illawarra Sports Stadium. And we also operate at the uni on Saturdays, and it's the demand for basketball is really huge at the moment. Okay,
so I mean, we heard there from Graeme, 4 out of 5 inquiries for space they have to turn them back. So are you saying to new prospective players, sorry, you just can't join, we just don't have the court space?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, there's only certain nights that people can play with all the commitments with their daily lives and everything. So I can't exactly fit people into the night they want to play, or even alternative nights, because we just don't have the space. So it's becoming a problem. It's been a problem for a while.
Okay, so what would it mean having 3 extra courts? I mean, how much bigger do you think this could get, given the people you're having to turn away? What do you think the demand is?
We projected that we could create a women's comp, a mixed comp, which we did have running before, and of course youth and children's workshops, which we've got plenty of demand for, but we just have to refer them on to Croom Road or the Snake Pit to facilitate what they need for their families. And it would be really good if we could accommodate them, because I'd say we could double the amount of participation we have in the sport and through UBL as well.
Double, you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the demand's there. We can only hope for that. But yeah, it's there's a lot of demand for it. So who knows? Sky's the limit.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see if, as we said, the people with the checkbooks come on board now that the plan's there. Thanks, Andy. And I had no idea that there were so many adults playing and keen to play. It's good.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, Andy. That's Andy King from UBL, University Basketball League, Wollongong. 107 teams. And he reckons that number could double. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? Thanks to Peter on the text.